I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay, I need to hear a motion to set the agenda.
I make a motion to set the agenda.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Motion made by Tammy, seconded by Stacy. Any discussion? Anything added? Call for the question.
Stacy Hall,
Aye.
Chris Flaherty,
Aye.
Lance McDaniel,
Aye.
Jack Schoenenmeyer,
Aye.
Tammy Hooten,
Aye.
Sherry Noyes,
Aye.
and Sherry Wright.
Aye.
And just while I'm on here, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Very
we
well.
can. Thank
Okay.
you. Approval of minutes of the September 15th, 20 regular board meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of the September 15th, 2020 regular board meeting.
Go in it.
Now hear a second.
Second.
Motion made by Sherry Noyes, seconded by Lance. Is there any discussion? Any corrections? Call for the question.
Stacy Hall,
Aye.
Chris Flaherty,
Aye.
Lance McDaniel,
Aye.
Jack Schoenenmeyer,
Aye.
Tammy Hooten,
Aye.
Sherry Noyes,
Aye.
and Sherry Wright.
Aye. Okay, our next one will be the superintendent's report. It is in the packet.
Yes, it is, but I'd just like to highlight a couple of things if that's all right with you, Sherry.
Okay.
We're still working on preliminary October count numbers. We should be having a preliminary number for the board prior to the board meeting in November. We will definitely be reporting out in November, and then we'll have the preliminary numbers in context to our budget work session that we do have scheduled at the end of November. So I will keep the board updated as that comes in. For the cameras at the high school, there is an RFP that went out today for to get estimates from multiple vendors that want to potentially put in a bid for. And I believe the walkthrough for that is either next week or the beginning of the following week. It is with, I appreciate Melissa Bruner with our finance director giving us enough notice to actually resign/retire at the end of this year. And we will be working on a very strong transition plan with her, which I truly do appreciate. She's willing to do a long-term plan with us. And we'll have more of a conversation with that under the discussion items, where we'll be providing a comparison of salary schedules to the surrounding districts. And then the other thing that really came up this morning that I just want to keep the board apprised of, so we had our administrative meeting with all the district administrators this morning, and we're very, very concerned with the increase of COVID cases in our community. If you've been following it on the state website, there's quite a few large districts that this is really being affected up in the Front Range. And so we are just monitoring this, but we did agree that as administrators, at least for the next board meeting, we will for our next admin meeting, we will be attending that virtually, because as we were sitting, even with our masks and social distancing, if we had one administrator that had a COVID case in their school and they had been exposed, then we would have had all our district administrators on quarantine for 2 weeks. So, that just is one more level of complexity that we are looking at as we move forward. So other than that, I'd like to entertain any questions in relation to my board report that was sent out on Saturday. And
I appreciate some of the things you discussed on there.
And then I would just like to thank the board for all the support in the last month. As I had some significant family changes with end of life and beginning of life, and I just appreciate everyone reaching out. So thank you for your support.
Are you getting any sleep yet?
I slept really well last night.
Okay. Okay. My understanding, and it doesn't make a difference because we have students coming in from all parts, but my understanding is the biggest uptake is on the youth tribe for COVID.
The U Mountain Tribe has seen a significant increase, and they've actually instituted the Safe at Home.
So are their kids coming to school still, or are they staying at home?
Yes,
They're still
we are
coming to
still
school?
having the students come in that are
So-
attending in
So we
person.
need to be extra careful. Okay.
Well, I'd like to point out that they've had 14 cases, which leaves the community at large with more than that, 18 to 19, because the paper said it's an 18% increase to where we are now. So that's right about 32 cases. So if the tribe has 14 of those, we are being affected as well. So
Yes.
it's not just the tribe issue, it's the community at large, county at large issue.
That's very true. And we need to remember it's county,
Right.
not Cortez, not the reservation, but the county.
Yeah,
So,
the county as a whole is
As a whole,
had a
so-
significant
but it
increase.
doesn't make any difference because we all shop at the same place and we all go to church at the same place. And so we have to be careful.
No, I think we've had 37 or 38 new cases since the 1st of October, which is, I believe, certainly it's the highest in that period of time that we've had in a long time.
Yes.
Jack, do you think it's because there's more people being tested now?
Oh, I think it's a variety of different things. I mean, I see a lot of people still going into stores without wearing masks.
And I truly believe that it's because we're getting more people tested, and I think that truthfully, I'd like to know how many of those people, and I realize that there's a HIPAA thing there, are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
And they don't, it's no different than, my feeling is it's no different than the flu. How many of us are being tested for the flu? too?
It's very different than the flu.
The disease itself is, but are we testing for the flu too? Are we testing for the flu also?
This
There's
is
a lot more
killed.
people. There's a lot more people dying of this than there is of the flu, and some scientists are projecting that another couple 100,000 people could die, and unless people take reasonable precautions, this could go on for God knows how long.
Well, let's just pray that we get the vaccine soon. Let's move along to staff reports. I had asked Lori to put all the information in our packets for us to read because we have such a short time frame for tonight. So does anybody have any questions for Carol?
Are we still short? Has anything changed on our positions, our vacancies? Have we filled any of those, or do we have more?
In the report that we gave you, we try to focus on instructional positions. In the report we gave you, it's in parentheses, a counselor was pending to be hired at Mesa, so that person has been hired, so that's good news. And then we are working on some creative staffing to support some of our alternative licensure and alternative endorsement candidates for ESS. And then we, as people move back and forth, we're looking to backfill some positions online. So an online teacher moved into an in-building position this week, and we have a leading candidate for short-term to fill that online position in 4th grade online, and it will be hired as long-term sub.
Thank you, Carol. Does anybody have any questions for Melissa? Do not forget our budget meeting, November 30th. You'll have lots of questions for her then. What about Jamie?
I'm here, board, if you have any questions.
I think it's the HVAC update, so.
And I believe you got my report. The HVAC obviously is delayed because of supply limitations and damaged freight. I've been meeting with contractors quite a bit, and that being said, I'm holding 20% of the final payment for Lewis and Kemper until all the little items are finished. We did a walkthrough at Kemper yesterday. I am anticipating they likely will have that done by the end of the week, but again, I'm going to hold that, and that's an addition to the 3% performance bond. The quality of work I feel like is good, and that's important. And so, yes.
Over the roof at Kemper, and we've got to have another roofer come in and redo the holes and stuff. Is that correct?
Yes. What happened there, Sherry, is the HVAC contractor bought some roofing boots from one of our local roofing companies, but there's two different types of roofs up there, the white TPO, and he put the wrong ones on those. Those need to be welded professionally. So we have a roofing company that's going to come in and correct that. It will not affect our warranty. It'll still be valid. We've also done extensive asbestos testing. It's all came back very much in our favor. So,
And that extra cost, I know it says, but we are making sure that that comes out of not our budget, but out of Matthew's is going to pay for that.
absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, we're not paying a dime of that. I do have some good news from our meeting yesterday, and I shared this with Lori and with Melissa too. And it looks like the rebates we're going to get with these high energy systems will be significant. And I don't know how they gauge it, but with HVAC units, they deem it by the ton, so to speak, and that's not literally the weight. I'm not sure how that plays out. But the system put it, Kemper was up to 54 tons of the requirement, but we're getting back between $600 and $900 per ton. So we're looking at somewhere between $30,000 to $45,000 just for that school. So that's an unexpected bonus. We should hear more back on that in the next few weeks. And that's pleased to hear that. And it should be, there should be some with Lewis and with Mesa also. And then we're looking into the big chiller that was put at the middle school. That's a possibility too. So.
Thank you. Our next item is the citizens address the board. And before we do that, I want you to know that we are limiting this to 5 minutes. It's 5:48. We have a hard meeting with the tribe at 6 o'clock. So 5 minutes is the maximum I'm going to give. You will have to type in your questions because none of us, well, Tammy has a computer, but the rest of us do not. So they need to be typed in. We will answer them verbally. And let me tell you now that the first rude, inconsiderate comment that is not appropriate for us to be in a public meeting, I will shut down all comments. So if you have any comment, please type it in at this time and we will answer them. And I don't have my glasses. Are there any comments? Okay. Laura, can you read those? Please?
Okay, let's see.
I can do close.
I can read them.
Okay, Tammy, go ahead.
See, starting with that one, do you count the number of positive COVID cases by individual or by household?
By individual.
By individual. Okay, there's another one that we can't see the top of it, something about pizza parties. Can you move that up a little bit?
I think that one's meet the guidelines for not reading it. Mhm.
It's what?
It meets your
Highly
guidelines for
inappropriate.
not reading it.
It's not
It's
appropriate.
inappropriate.
It's inappropriate? Okay. Do citizens still get 5 minutes to speak at the board meetings? Yes, except for tonight, and because we have an IPP meeting going correctly that is required by law, is why we're not doing it tonight. That's why we're doing it this way. The next one, would you consider paying your employees twice per month since we have to wait until the end of the month for payday, which makes it difficult to pay rent and other bills on time?
Lori, I'll let you address that.
I would encourage this person to follow proper chain of command and to contact our finance director.
Okay, so contact the finance director and get that. Would you consider paying your okay, if a day calendar was not considered, if a 4-day calendar was not considered due to the detriment to student education, then why are the students not allowed to go back in person if they so choose, especially since online school has proven to be detrimental to their learning? I think that's asking why we are not allowing online kids to come into the school at this time, person to person.
We will actually be sending out a parent feedback enrollment the end of October, first part of November to start the transition that semester for students to come back in person.
When will Mesa get their air conditioner? I believe Jamie said that was going to start next week.
Yes, the drop dead date is actually the 3rd week in November to have it completed.
It should be completed November 3rd.
The next one's
The
inappropriate.
next one, I'm sorry, we cannot discuss. Why are we paying $10,000 for someone to teach equality if you are discriminating against the that's inappropriate.
Go down to.
That one's inappropriate. I'm sorry, guys, these are things that we cannot discuss. You need to discuss them with Lance himself.
The last one is a good one.
When are the NPAC meetings?
There is going to be one scheduled. This is the PAC meeting for Title VI.
Yeah, I mean, one will be scheduled, I think Trina's scheduling it.
Yeah, so that will be scheduled and we will be communicating it out.
This pizza thing is really getting out of hand. Mesa HVAC will begin okay, that was Jamie, I guess. Okay.
But it's the same person, so we could remove them if they're not going to follow etiquette of the.
We're just not going to read them. Okay, are there any other comments? Guys, leave the pizza parties alone. If you have an issue, then please call and talk to Lori or call and talk to Lance. We
It's just
cannot discuss that publicly. This is not, we're not going to attack each other during a meeting. We are going to be polite and I do not believe in putting people down.
You have 1 more minute, Mrs. Wright.
Is there any more?
Back to the pizza party, Mrs. Wright, I would like to say if the community would like to email me, I would be glad to clarify the cost of the pizza and who is providing it.
Okay, did you hear that? Email Mrs. Hockness or call her and she will explain who pays for it and why it's taking place. She will answer your questions. When will we get this information for students to come back in person? You said you're working on it?
The timeline is the last part of October, first part of November.
So next week or the week after?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any more? Okay, I'm shutting this down. Consent calendar. Do I hear a motion for the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second. Who said that, Jack?
Jack.
Jack, okay. Jack made the motion. Tammy seconded. Is there any discussion?
I have one.
Go.
I was very surprised but happy for Lori Mott to be able to retire. I think that Lori has done an incredible job with the fire science, the EMT.
Yeah, we lost the audio.
I think they froze.
We lost all the audio. I don't know if you can hear me, but she cut out
Not
at
frozen.
all her audio cut out on this end at EMT.
Hopefully we are, right? You're gonna keep that going.
Oh, absolutely. And I
Eric.
think Lori was willing to mentor, am I correct, Eric?
Yeah,
Or,
we're just publicizing the position right now, so we don't know.
Yep.
if we can do it.
Well, I know she's a very popular teacher, and I did hate to see her retire. We're losing somebody good.
Yes, we definitely
Yeah,
are.
and she was just awesome with those kids.
Okay, any more discussion? Call for the question.
Stacy Hall,
I,
Chris Flaherty,
Aye.
Lance McDaniel,
Aye.
Jack Schunenmeyer,
Aye.
Tammy Hooton,
Aye.
Terry Noyes,
Aye.
and Sherry Wright.
Aye. The next action item is, are we going to meet in person for our board meetings, or are we going to Zoom? We need to hear a motion before we can do a discussion.
I move to meet in person for our board meetings.
I second.
Okay, motion made by Sherry Noyes to meet in person, seconded by Stacy. Now we're open for discussion.
Well, we're in the middle of the pandemic. It's getting worse by all accounts, and I think there should be an option for a Zoom. I mean,
I think that no matter what we decide, we need to stay Zooming for our community anyway.
Yeah, and you know, and I get it that the staff is at the school and everybody's directed to be at school and we're keeping the kids in school. You know, and for me, I feel like as directors, we're not actually cohorting with these people and with our staff. We're not part of the actual physical school district on a day-to-day basis. I have incredibly strict pandemic guidelines at work that are way beyond even talking about. So it's, for me, it's like, we are in the middle of a pandemic and we need to have flexibility, because if, you know, I think it's the responsible thing to do. I think if you can be there and we want to hold them in person, be there. If you can't be there, don't be there.
Anybody else?
I think it's important to remember what or maybe
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
review what the hospital said